So before I go cleaning this all, here. Fuck. So before we go, okay. So before I get too far carried away here, so before we flip this engine over now, okay, so before I flip this engine over now and start taking the bottom end apart, we're just gonna, just a drill with a little wire wheel brush. This is not gonna wear away on anything. We're gonna clean 4 corners of the deck and 4 spots on the piston. Consistency here matters as to where you do it. There's no carbon buildup on here or nothing. Like I said, the thing had hardly been run. But we're just making sure we don't get anything hung up in there. We're going to measure the 4 corners. We're going to adjust the deck heights to probably, I think this thing's got a good bit of compression. Probably have the piston about 10 down in the hole. To do that, we're going to mill the tops of the block. And we're going to square deck it also. Make sure all 4 corners are exactly the same. So we don't, so they're all, you know, doing the same amount of work. And it's pretty simple how we do this. We'll cover some of these basic tools, like the ones I'm about to use here, in our little tool playlist we have. The dial gauge, magnetic stand. You will use this in so many instances. So when you're doing this, your piston does rock in the bore. So you're going to want to push down so you're lifting the top side of the quench, where the quench in the head is. You don't want that piston when it's coming up to rock and create a clearance issue. Now we're going to go with 10 thou in the hole, plus we're also going to go with about a 32 thou head gasket. That's going to give us 42 thousandths of quench. That's what we're shooting for. We brought our piston up top dead center. Another tool we'll cover in our tool playlist, playlist. These are cheap. These are inexpensive tools. If you're going to be, doing a few of these as a hobby, I strongly recommend that you have these. And that's right at 40 thou. I'll do in the playlists for tools, we're going to document this. We will I'll even do an article on how to read these things. Not an article, a vid for you guys, sorry. This, what I'm doing here now, is so often overlooked. I'm a big believer in this. I don't do stock rebuilds, but if I did do a stock rebuild, even a stock rebuild would get this. It's just, it's well worth the effort. Again, we're going to push on the piston to bring the quench area up. And this one is right at 40 thou. Exactly where the other one is. That's pretty good. Whoever built this engine, I'm thinking must have square decked the block by the looks of things. That's nice. Mm-hmm. And we just put a dial gauge on there, bring it up until she stops there. I got this one to do yet. Again, we're going to push on this side of the piston. It rocks a few thou, not very much. These are tight fit and hypertectic piston. Okay, so there you go. This one's at 55. So that's 15 thou more there than here. Has 15 thousandths less quench at the back than the front. Okay. So they did not square deck it. Not a big deal. We can do that. Hey, one more thing for me to show. Oh, I got to go back and do it again. Okay. So from my experience, this one will need to be 30 or 45, depending on how Oh, wow. And that one's at 25. So we're kind of all over the place on this one. Okay, we'll square that up. Okay. So this is like this. We have 30 thou. I gotta put zeros in front of these. Okay. We have 30 here. The piston's 30 below the deck, 30 below the deck, 45 below the deck, 40 below the deck. So that means the crankshaft is in it this way, because we're even. Sometimes you'll get them, this will be one measurement, this will be the other. Sometimes they're all over the place. This one's really close, it's just at an angle. So we'll square that up in the mill. I'm going to tip it over now and carry on. Okay, so I just double check and triple check them measurements because there's no room for error in this. We've got to set it up on the machine and grind it down, make it all square. So you're going to be questioning me, how do I know my rods are all the same length? I actually don't know at this point. I know what this measurement is. When we get the thing apart, we're going to resize the rods. We're going to check the length of the rods. We're going to check the compression heights of the pistons. Any that are different, we'll do the math to figure out where we have to square the block, what value we take it to.